What's going on, everybody? This is Silent Opera TV coming to you from Macau. We're going to talk about the best things to do.
And some quick information about Macau. Now, it is a special administrative region of China with a population of 700,000 people, making it the most densely populated area in the world. The area known as Cotai is actually two islands that have been landfilled to form the Cotai Strip, which is now one big island, with Cologne and Taipa being the two islands, now merged into one. And the Old Town area is the island of Macau. And the whole SAR is now known as Las Vegas of the East, or East Las Vegas. Now let's show you what there is to do in Macau. There will be timestamps below in the description. First up on the list, we're out here at the Wynn Fountain Show here in Cotai. The shows begin right when the sun goes down every night on the half hour until 11:30 p.m. This lake is known as the Lake of Dreams, and it is free for the general public and can be viewed from Bar Parasol and the Overlook Lounge or other lake patios. I actually was staying at the Hyatt right across the street and had a view of it the entire night. Next up, we're gonna go and ride the Sky Cab, as it's called. This is actually free to all people who enter the Wynn Palace, and the cable car is open from 10 a.m. to midnight daily and is only closed when weather is bad. Now we're going to go across the street here to the City of Dreams. This is a mega casino and home to the Morpheus, which is actually one of the most unique buildings in the world because of its new age architecture.
Look at the Morpheus. Crazy place, huh?
The City of Dreams is multiple hotels basically built on top of a shopping mall and casino complex with numerous food courts. Just down the way on the Cotai Strip is the Londoner. Originally named Sands Cotai Central, it was rebranded in 2021 and the redesign was completed in 2023. So this is brand new, this here Londoner. It really goes along with the theme of the area. Across the street is the Venetian, and then right next door to the Venetian is the Parisian. So now you have three European style hotels here, which is very popular with tourists from China. This here replica of Big Ben is actually one of the iconic landmarks. Across the street is the Venetian, which has its iconic lake right in front, very similar to what they have in Las Vegas. Once you walk inside, you really feel like you're in a palace at this mega resort where they have over 3,000 suites. Amazing, huh? It's huge. And they also have the shops where they have a canal. Just like in Venice, you can take a gondola ride. The Venetian is the largest hotel in Macau and the second largest hotel casino in all of the world. Now let's ride something fun. Next up is going to be ride the actual monorails.
Here is a look at the monorail station right here next to the City of Dreams.
Known as the LRT, Light Rapid Transit, there are 11 stations and it spans 9.3 kilometers or 6 miles. There's only one line though. Now let's talk about the Cotai Strip. One of my favorite things to do is actually walk across the footbridge from the Londoner to the Venetian, and you get great views looking at this very busy stretch of road right here.
And you can see here's the view at night from my room.
This here is a look at Studio City here. The Parisian and the iconic Eiffel Tower next door to the Studio City.
They also have a very interesting ride that you can ride that is right there. You can see it goes round and round, kind of like a Ferris wheel. Get in one of those capsules.
The Cotai Strip is about 5.2 kilometers or 2 square miles. Here we are at my favorite hotel casino. This is the Galaxy Hotel. I highly recommend staying here if the rooms are available, but they do book fast. Known for its diamond show in the lobby, as well as a man-made beach and an awesome pool here. They have around 2,200 hotel rooms. Around 30 million people visit Macau every year, and it actually makes 3 times more revenue for its owners than Las Vegas. It's a major cash cow city here, beaming with opulence and luxury all across the Cotai Strip. Now what we're going to do is head over towards Macau Island and check out more of the Old Town. Once you go across the bridge, you'll see the Macau Tower. Standing at 1,109 feet, that's 338 meters tall. It's an observation deck which has a movie theater, shopping mall, and the Skywalk X. There's also bungee jumping up here. And in 2006, A.J. Hackett broke his own Guinness Book of World Record for bungee jumping from here. In fact, many people come from all around the world for the bungee jump that's up here, as well as the Skywalk. You may have already seen some of these videos on social media about this. As you can see from the observation deck up here, it is quite the view that you get, and it's actually a convention center down below, that should be mentioned. The tower itself is modeled after the one down in Auckland, New Zealand.
Just behind me here we have Monte Forte, which is a fortaleza of the Portuguese.
Built in the 16th century by Jesuits, it later became a military base, and nowadays it is part of the historic center of Macau and also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it's a 100 by 100 meter stone fort with superb views overlooking many different casinos, including Lisboa. It's free to walk around the actual park. You can just go up there. But if you wanted to go inside the museum, the entrance fee is around the price of $1 US. Next up, we're actually headed back to Taipa Island. This is the old village. It's really cool because it's right next to the Cotai Strip, but you still get this feeling of the old Portuguese colony that was here. I do recommend visiting here in the evening time, and there is a food street that you should check out.
And just behind me here we have the ruins of St. Paul.
This is actually right next to Monte Forte. These ruins are a 17th century Catholic religious complex in San Antonio, Macau. The interesting thing, it was considered the Vatican of the Far East with a goal to educate Jesuit missionaries who were traveling to China, Japan, and other places in the Far East. Many would consider the ruins of St. Paul to be the top thing you must see when you come here to Macau, so keep that in mind. Just down the way is Senado Square. Actually, I would recommend walking from St. Paul to Senado Square because the streets are very intricate and you feel like you're in Portugal. As you can see by the pavers on the ground, it reminds you of places like Lisbon, Porto, or even Rio de Janeiro. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the historic center. Check it out during the Chinese New Year. Next up, we're headed towards the Mandarin's House Museum. This is an old historical residential complex in São Lourenço. It was the residence and family home of the Qing reformist Zhang Zuijing. If you're on foot, it is halfway in between the Ma Temple, which we will be showing you later, and Largo San Agustin. Just some quick history about Macau. It was leased to the Portuguese in 1557, made as a trading outpost, and several years after Hong Kong was returned to China from England, Macau in 1999 was returned to China from Portugal when it became its own SAR.
Wow, they have a well here in the city.
That old well is actually right there at the Mandarin House. I would also recommend just walking around and familiarizing yourself with the community known as San Lorenzo because it's quite a historical neighborhood here. Speaking of history, let's go to the Ma Temple. Built in 1488, the temple is one of the oldest in Macau, and it was built for the Chinese sea goddess Mazu right here in São Lourenço. According to the locals I spoke with, fishermen used to ask the sea goddess here at the temple for safe passage and good luck before going out, and even coming back here afterwards to give thanks. There is no entry fee required to visit here. It is situated alongside the hill here, so keep that in mind if you're worried about walking up, but it's not that big of a hike. It's just a few steps.
Next up, we're gonna go check out some giant pandas right here in Macau.
At the Macau Giant Panda Pavilion, open from Tuesday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I actually didn't have to pay anything to visit here, so from what I understand, it is free to the public, thanks to the government of Macau. There are 3 panda bears here, including monkeys and a red panda as well. So if you really love pandas, you're gonna come here and see this and be very satisfied. These are some of the most photogenic pandas I've ever seen. Pandas can be found in the wild in southern and eastern China, as well as Myanmar and northern Vietnam. The cute little red panda can be found in China, Nepal, and Bhutan. And like I said, along with the pandas, you can find other birds like these flamingos and several species of monkeys. So is a conservatory. It really is packed with animals like a zoo. Now let's get back to talking about some of the hotel casinos like MGM Macau. Now there is 2 different MGMs here. There's the MGM at Cotai and the MGM in Macau. I recommend going to both, but this one that we're showing you here is MGM Macau, so it's not nearby Cotai Strip. That show is called the Dragon Show. It's actually at the entrance The atrium here is also quite impressive. As you can see, they have that Portuguese pavers. Next up is a pool day, but I would call it a pool and spa day. So most of your hotel casino resorts are going to have amazing pools that you can just relax, and a spa where you can also hang out and chill. The Venetian, the Parisian, and the Galaxy are my favorites.
Macau also has some outdoor activities. Here you can see there's a beach, and then there's a coastal trail, which I'll be showing you a little bit right now.
This one is called Hak So Long Chow Kok Coastal Trail, including Taipa Grande Hiking Trail. They also have the Taipa Pequeña, and then they have Cologne Sac Min Pun Ancient Path. Macau isn't exactly known for its beaches, but this one here on Cologne is a black sand beach, as they call it, although it's more of a brown sand beach. This one is called Hak Sac, which means black sand beach. People like to come out here and do water sport activities like parasailing or stand-up paddleboarding. Just getting out on the water here is really something to do, especially on a hot day. Now let's talk about the local food. That's going to include the Portuguese egg tarts, which are very popular, and many varieties of Chinese food that includes dim sum, like shumai or hargou, as you can see here. And then they also have Western breakfast, scrambled eggs and toast, which you can get at your hotel if you wanted. Seemed like I started my day with a Western breakfast and ended with mostly Chinese food. They also have bar food, as you can see here. Also many different rice bowls, like this one with eel and rice. Also a soup. This was a very unique soup. I don't know exactly what was in it, but it looked like a bunch of leftovers from the cow. A Portuguese style steak with an egg on it, and then my favorite, wonton soup. Now for my final thoughts on Macau. So you can easily come and do a day trip from Hong Kong, but ideally do 3 or 4 days here and really get to know Macau, and you'll probably enjoy it. I seem to gravitate more towards the Cotai Strip than the old center of Macau, although I could easily see myself staying at the old center. Because of the location of Macau, I would suggest you take a look at Shenzhen and Hong Kong while on this trip. It's all known as the Pearl River Valley. If you wanted to go up the river a bit, you would end up in places like Guangdong or even Guangzhou. The total metro area population is around 85 million people, so lots to see in this area of China. If you did enjoy this video of Macau, I would recommend you also watch our things to do for Hong Kong that we just did. I'll put a link to that in the description below and at the end. Also, share this with a friend who you're trying to talk into going to Macau. Encourage them. See you on the next one. And a big thanks to all of our subscribers and channel members.